Hello friends, and welcome back to Challenge Accepted. We're going to be working on this fab layout right here from Scrap Squad. And I will go ahead and put it right about here when I do get working. Now what I see here is a white background, which I do have, and a bunch of really colorful strips, some sewing, all kinds of goodies like that. So I'm going to concentrate on strips to start. Now so far out of this kit I'm using a Mind the Scrap kit. These are the little extra bits I have. So I'm going to start with that. I do have this photo right here. This is just a Snapchat photo that my husband sent to me. And the next thing I'm going to do is see if I've cut into any of my papers and possibly get into my Amy Tan pad and that kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and get working and fast forward the next bits, do the voiceover and all that kind of stuff, and be with you in just a minute. All right. Oh, sorry about that sound. It is so loud next to me. Okay. I'm going to get working on this and take you along with me. Wish me luck. All right. So all I'm going to do for the background of this layout, which I'm just doing on a nice medium weight cardstock. It's probably basil. Not quite sure, but it feels like that nice smooth white basil. Anywho, I'm going to start with putting my my strips, my branding strips, that's the word I was trying to come up with, kind of here and there on my page, and I'm trimming off one of the ends because I don't want them all the exact size, and I'd like to have varied colors, widths, all that kind of thing, just to keep it slightly more interesting. As well as the idea that that's how they did it in the Scraplift that I'm working on today. So I'm going to work on that. It ends up being pretty darn boring, but I just thought I'd tell you what the plan is for the background. So I also, okay, once I used up my branding strips, I went ahead into my little Amy Tan by 6x8 paper pad, I believe it is. And I started using the scraps that worked, that I had kind of tucked in the cover of that paper pad to start filling in my paper as well. And of course they're 6 inches across. And that ended up being pretty fun because I have a little bit of, you know, on some of the lines I have 2 different papers and all that kind of stuff. So I do like the look of that as well as I Frankenstein the rest of this together. So the original scrap artist, and I think it's Missy Whidden on this Scraplift that we are looking at, she did a bunch of sewing, but one of my product focuses that I have right now is to get rid of my vintage rub-ons. So I have these rub-ons that look like sewing machine stitches, and I'm going to use them in a few different places. No, it does not look like real machine stitching. And I'm sorry that my head is in the frame there. I am short, so sometimes I have to lean across to really see. It doesn't look like real machine stitching, but it's mimicking it, and I'm using a supply that I want to get out of my area. And for some reason, are they Kaisergraft? They still work, and they work just as well as the day I got them. It's almost weird. Anywho, I'm going to put them here and there on this layout just to give kind of that stitching look. So next I want to get a little mixed media on this, and I'm auditioning a couple of different colors that are in my mixed media. I have kind of like well, it's taller than me, so it's probably 6 feet tall, and I keep most of my mixed media on this kind of rotating cart thing. So I'm going through there, that's where I'm disappearing a little bit here and there, just trying to find colors that might match up with this layout. Now this blue isn't spot on, it's not aqua enough, but it does end up drying in a way that will work for this layout. I have no problem with things being ish, because if I'm using my supplies, I'm a happy girl. And it doesn't dry as bold as what you see in the bottle either, so that works out just fine. This is one of the Heidi Swapp color shines, and I don't use it enough, but the color is just stunning. So I'm going to go ahead, I think I used 3 different ones, and none of them are Heidi Swapp gold, which is amazing to me because I do use me some serious mold. That little piece of plastic that I'm using, which is beyond not adequate at all. It was just sitting in the top of my trash, and I tend to go ahead and grab the quickest thing, the easiest thing, the thing that actually gets me moving on my layout. So that's what you're seeing there. Really long explanation for just smooshing on some of the Heidi Swap color shine. So as we see, the background of my layout's done. I've got my cute little strips. I've got faux stitching from a bunch of ancient rub-ons. I'm talking like 2002. And I've smooshed some mixed media on. Somebody recently asked me, how long do you let your mixed media dry before you go ahead and move on to your next step? And 9 times out of 10, my answer is about 1 second. So it's wet. I'm just moving on to the next thing and hoping I don't smush stuff too much. Same thing for modeling paste. I end up, for the most part, being so impatient. I just want to play with whatever ideas in my head instead of being smart about it and doing my mixed media and coming back the next day. I just go for it. I mean, it's not like it's pooled on there, but it is definitely still damp. So that's my answer. I just don't wait. I go for it. So what you see me doing there is I went into my Amy Tan 6x8 paper pad, pulled out a pattern that I liked, and I also in this kit had some black cardstock as a scrap. So I went ahead and backed the photo in that because I really wanted it to be able to stand out against all of this fun color. And against I have colors and patterns and mixed media and all that. So I wanted the photo to have a chance to actually stick out. So I am now Frankensteining a little bit of fun foam. This is the adhesive on one side fun foam that I do prefer, but if it's not at the store that I'm at the time, I just pick up whatever cheap stuff they have. Not super picky for that. So on the photo, you see kind of like a pink strip that's going across, and that was actually really on the photo. You're not getting a funny glare. It's supposed to look like somebody on stage or something in this Snapchat filter. This thread right here is uber thick. It's a We Are Memory Keepers thread, and it did come in this kit as well. I haven't found a needle yet that I can run it through my sewing machine, but I really want to use the thread. So I'm just using it as kind of another mixed media element, making it kind of messy and fun, and it's just going to be something behind my layout. Now, I haven't done much of this in the past. I think I've done one other layout, and it was like maybe a month ago, using the same technique, and I'm kind of feeling it, like really feeling it. So this is the one turquoise super thick thread that I have, so it's gonna probably be making quite a scene, quite a debut on my layouts for a while. Now you see in the Scraplift, there are a lot of random words and random bits here and there on the page, so I am gonna also employ that. I like the angle that my photo's at right now because the rest of my background is super linear. So I like the way that's going. And it did hold up against a slightly mixed media. I will go ahead and put a couple of little glue splotches if I need to, but right now it's really holding up nicely. So the kitty cut die cut next to my husband's photo is so kind as to be wearing some sunglasses, like the Snapchat filter. My husband's a bit of a crazy cat lady, so that works perfectly fine. And the thing that I do like to do, because I 90% of the time scrapbook, 99% of the time scrapbook from kits, is a lot of times we have these really random embellishments that are in collections, like the cat or a llama wearing a sombrero, or all that kind of stuff we're getting right now. So if you have a whimsical layout that you're working on, that is the time to get those suckers on there, because I don't know if there's going to be a time that one of my cats will be wearing sunglasses. Not quite sure. So this is the time to use what we can that's fun and goofy and whimsical, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're doing here. But yes, Little random tip of the day: when you have a layout that doesn't necessarily make any sense, that's when you put the nonsense on. Anywho, this that camera, I don't know if you can see this strap. The strap is that really great glitter finish that Amy Tan is using. It's like a black and multicolored glitter. So it's pretty cool. I think the little cat has that as well. So it's kind of like a, yeah, it's just a little different than what we're used to. So I'm pretty jazzed. That's something that's specific to this collection, and I've enjoyed using it a whole bunch. I've been doing my best to try to get some of these Chamel Field Trip stickers on things. It is a great collection, and I've been able to use it way more than I thought I would. You know, it's like it's a little tricky to figure out when to get that mastodon on a page when your kids are 18 and older, and might not necessarily be going to a museum of natural history. But I have been able to get lots of the pieces on there. These are Dear Lizzie little word stickers, and they are fantastic because we get lots of different colors. So, I've been able to get them onto so many layouts. I've been so pleased with it, and I really hope that more designers come out with little words on multicolor sheets. It's been so fun and so clutch on my layouts. What else to tell you? I have some of the Paige Evans. They're shiny puffies. That's what I use for the stars. And they are fantastic because she did include lots of just hearts and stars and things like that in that collection that you can use on way more than, your typical pretty floral kind of layouts. Alrighty, so this is just the finishing touches. This is more of the Paige Evans collection, and these are beyond fabulous puffy stickers, like the super soft, uber fabulous puffy 1980s stickers. Really love them. Butterflies have nothing to do with this layout, except for the fact that the colors are spot on. I am using some little Chamel Field Trip enamel shapes as well on here, just some more stars. And I'm going to be wrapping up soon, so I wanted to thank you for watching. Tell you to go ahead and like and subscribe if you would, because it lets YouTube know that you like what I am bringing to my channel. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I answer them at least once a day over a nice cup of coffee. And what else? Oh, if you want to be notified when my next layout gets completed, go ahead and hit the notification button. I would ever so appreciate that as well. And that is it. I'll be back to you within maybe a day or so with another layout. I've been pretty prolific lately with my scrapbooking. All right, that's it today, friends. We'll see you. Bye-bye.